Hi, I'm Amy, and tonight's Live About Five is about the power of community. Why would we want to be part of a community as we're looking to reach our goals? And the truth is that we go farther together. I've been in this business for 8 years, and what I've realized over time is that it really is about working together with others to get where we want to go. That's going to help us go faster for a lot of different reasons. And we're seeing memberships and communities pop up for this very reason, right? The first thing I would say is that there's a shared goal, there's shared empathy, and there's shared understanding. That's why in the Midlife Mentorship, we focus really hard on what women are experiencing in midlife, especially as we emerge from child rearing years. We're trying to figure out what's our next step. It's so important to have people around us who respect and understand exactly what we're going through. There's nothing more exhausting than having a conversation with someone about your dreams and your goals and have them say, "But are you an expert in Canva?" And you're like, "Girl, Canva was not a glimmer in somebody's eye when I started on this journey in 1966, right?" So it's important to be in a space where people really get each other. It's also important to have encouragement and motivation. I find that when I'm part of a group and we're all working together and we're all working on our own goals, we're cheering each other on, we're giving each other encouragement, we're dropping in different messages from our perspective. It's wildly motivating. It can really keep you on track because when you're working in isolation, as most entrepreneurs do, or as most women in midlife do, it can be really daunting. It's easy to let your guard down. It's easy to take a break. It's easy to put this off until after the holiday, right? It's easy to say, "Oh, I'm on vacation." But when you're part of a group, you're thinking, "Oh man, everybody's going to be on that coaching call on Tuesday. And I want to be able to report that I did my first reel, just like I promised I would last week," right? It has a different energy and it really makes a difference. Then there's accountability and commitment. The number one thing that I've seen as something people need when they're working towards an important goal is accountability, especially if it's something that's important to you that you've been working on for a long time and you haven't been able to achieve. For example, when I was first trying to be an entrepreneur over 8 years ago, it was my goal to create a six-figure business. And I knew that was a big goal, but I worked really hard and we were able as a team in my house to do it twice. Now we're working on even larger goals. So I'm in different groups, working with different coaches, trying to get that accountability and commitment. That mindset shift is a big deal, right? It's simple when you're first starting to be able to say, "Oh, I'm not sure what to do," or "I'm not sure what the next step is. So I'm going to wait until the path is clear." But when you're in a group and you have said, "Hey, please hold me accountable. It is my goal to do a reel every single day for my Instagram growth. And I need people having my back about that and encouraging me." Man, you don't want to miss that, right? You don't want to let people down. And you want someone with love and strength to call you out on missing your goals. Now, you also need to give yourself grace. I'm not saying that accountability means there's somebody going, "What have you done? Did you do your goal?" No, it's not like that. But it means a lot to me personally, and I've seen it be wildly successful, whether you're in an MLM or you're just an entrepreneur yourself, or you're working on your health, your finances, your relationships, your faith. I've seen accountability go a really long way for people. And that's what a community will provide. Then you have access to diverse perspectives, just a different way of thinking and different resources. I can't tell you the number of times I've come to a coaching call and said, "How are people doing this? How are people getting their hair to stay up in their hairbreadth the whole time they're doing a video?" And someone goes, "Oh my God, you don't know about these hairbreadths? They're amazing and they work every time," right? And I learn about things that'll help my life be better. I learn about different mindset shifts. One of the most powerful things I learn often is that I'm not alone. I had an incredible conversation with a dear friend who now is an amazing actress in New York the other day. And we talked about our childhoods and different practices that we had, like behavior choices that we made when we were little that was unique. She's the only other person I've ever met that had the same activity, behavior, choices. The only person in my entire life. And I can't tell you, I was just floored. I was like, I do that too. I did that too. And it gave me such a sense of belonging, and it banished loneliness. It let me know I wasn't totally wackadoodle, right? Even though we all know we're not totally wackadoodle, sometimes you feel like you might be that way. So, this diverse perspective or resource can bring something that'll enrich the way you think or the way you work, but can also help you feel seen in the way that you are and the way that you work. There's nothing like collaboration and networking, in my opinion. Whether you're boots on the ground, belly to belly in your business, or you're in the digital space, whether you're trying to reach your weight by going to Weight Watchers, or whether you're joining me on a 14-day reset, I'm telling you, having a collaborator and networking with people is phenomenal. One of my favorite things to do is to connect people that can support each other. And it makes a big impact on their lives, which means a lot to me. One of my favorite things to do is to sit and talk through a sticky problem or a challenge with someone, and they'll say something that just opens up a door in my mind, opens up a window, and my thoughts go flying. And without that one comment, I never would have seen it. If you've ever watched the show House, he's a genius physician who's quite unique in his behavior choices. And every episode, he's trying to solve an incredibly complex medical mystery. And somehow, some random comment from someone will spark the suggestion and the answer in his mind. That's what collaboration does. And networking connects us to each other in a way that we currently need more than ever before. While this digital world gives us a lot more opportunities, it also can be very isolating. So, networking in a community, that can make your whole day, right? Then it's going to boost your confidence and your self esteem. I'm going to guarantee you, especially in the midlife mentorship, any community that you're a part of, let's say that we're sitting there and someone says to themselves, I don't know how I'm ever going to do that little format on Canva. And another person chimes in and goes, oh, it's just a template. I'll send you a link. If you've got Canva, I've got Canva. I'll send you a link. It'll show you exactly how to do it. Boy, that person sure feels good about themselves. They helped you so much and they made such a big difference. That's how you'll feel. It'll also make you feel better just taking action and being a part of a community and working towards your goals. Honestly, that's one of the biggest challenges that we have is feeling stuck all the time. So being able to have your confidence boost and your self-esteem boost, right? You come to the group and you say, okay, everybody, I've been working on this big goal. I want to show you, this is what I'm doing. What do you think? And everybody says, oh my gosh, that's amazing. It looks incredible. I love the colors that you use. Man, that's a boost that you could really use, right? So the power of collective growth is going to be strength in numbers. You're going to have a lot of people who are supporting you and surrounding you in a vibrant community. You're going to have continuously learning and development available to you. I struggle often with what's my next step? What's my next goal? What's my next training? And so I found a couple of mentors that I follow religiously, and it really helps me because they guide me and they help me see what's coming up next. But it's a continuous process of learning in a community. It's going to create long-lasting connections. Some of my funniest new friends are from one of my new communities, and I never would have met them if it wasn't for being part of the two programs that I have invested in, both my time and my energy. But man, I'm getting so much out of them with these cool new friends. So these lasting and lifelong connections can really make a huge difference. And that's the sort of thought that I had when I created the Midlife Mentorship. Because as an entrepreneur, I felt incredibly isolated. I felt like I had a really different skill set than a lot of the entrepreneurs that are coming out today in their 20s, and that I didn't have some of the skills that they had. But I had a lot of skills that I developed as a Gen Xer, right? I had resilience, I had independence, I had critical thinking, I had chutzpah, but I didn't necessarily know all the tricks and tips about technology. I didn't necessarily know how to create that thing in Canva. And I needed a place that was safe to ask questions like that and get support. I also wanted to create a space where people would really understand where other people were coming from, right? Where we all could come together and say, I'm having a really bad day because this is the anniversary of the Challenger shuttle. And I was a teacher on that day. And it was a really horrible experience for me and I could use some extra support today, right? It's having a whole spoken language that you share with each other. And then as we work together to put the systems together, to put the frameworks together, to get our goals more in alignment with where they should be and to start to reach those goals together, that's where the community really becomes magical. That's where you really start to see people chiming in and really lifting people up. So it helps you get going and then it helps you keep going. So whether it's the midlife mentorship or a community that you've been thinking about, I want to encourage you, if you're working towards goals in your life that are important to you, to get that level of support. Right now, midlife mentorship is $27 a month. You can save that on your groceries, my friend. You can miss Starbucks twice and have midlife mentorship for the entire month. That price is going up on July 15th. So I'd love to have you take advantage of it and get in a community that's really going to make a difference for you. Because this world, we need you to get your goals going because we know what a difference they're going to make. I love you. I am so grateful that you're here and I